Man, hold on, man. It's your boy Game Like Will, man. Back with another video, man. Listen, man. I think this video is just gonna be about stories. I was watching Game Global. I watch Game Global. That's like a channel with a bunch of PUA or dating coaches. They all come together and talk about game. You feel me? Like y'all need to subscribe to that channel because that's like every man need to be subscribed to that channel because like I don't know. I spend most of my days just learning game and social skills. So it's like, when you hear other people perspectives, you don't really get that barbershop talk no more. We used to get when we was young. You know what I'm saying? Where that's where you would hear about football or basketball or my son is this or yo da da and neighborhood talk. But it kind of reminded me of that where men could be men. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too many spaces like that. But other than that, I just subscribe to a lot of different dating coaches. I've been probably listening to these guys. I just wasn't a dating coach myself. I wasn't that interested myself. So, you know, I can remember way back though, like listening to Jason Capital, like you know what I'm saying. But I wasn't really. I had girls, you feel me, enough to where I was like, man, I don't really need this shit. But boy, was I mistaken because this conversation skills, man, be the thing that guys just lack, bro. And again, man, I was watching Game Global and Mystery said, on the approach, really all he said that, a simple approach would be, besides like your real approach, like the indirect approach would be to stack forward. And I didn't know what that was for years, but stack forward, uh, like stacking kind of means like stacking forward. I can't explain it. And so he basically said two short stories. See, I never even knew that term, right? I would always think stories meant like, oh shit, I gotta go into this story. You know what I'm saying? The story gotta at least be a paragraph long, and not really. It could be three sentences. It's really like a couple sentences, like. Oh, you know what's funny? I seen me and my neighbor's cat got into a staring contest earlier or yesterday, and I think I lost. You know what I'm saying? And see the humor right there. I think I lost. You know what I'm saying? A couple times, but da 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 da. And then say she laughs, but she don't really give me no energy, right? Now I can stack forward, which would be to say another short story. So my mind wouldn't even work in that dimension. It wouldn't even work in that way because naturally, right, as an amateur or beginner, you're gonna say she didn't laugh or she didn't really buy into that story, right? I didn't hook her with that story. So naturally, what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna either like ask her something or change the topic, which is I think that'd be pretty like cool, but it at the same time could be pretty cringy. You know what I'm saying? Because women are intuitive, so they know like, damn, I kind of laugh, but I'm not really laughing type shit. So it's on you to be like a man and lead the interaction. So it would be better to stack another short story because what you're conveying confidence. Like I'm not moved by you, you're gonna be moved by me, and it's not like force, but it's like ownership of the genders. Basically, it's like I'm a man. This is a dance, and I understand like this is my mating call or some shit like that. So it's like, okay, I told that story. She kind of laughed, kind of didn't laugh, and she still listen. Women be digesting what you just said. Sometimes they don't always know how to respond, or they might go, "You're funny." I know y'all heard that. You're funny. You're crazy, or oh, for real, da 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 da. I don't like cats. They'll say anything, but they'll say like I like to call it fillers. Like they'll fill in what's dead space. So they'll fill in the dead space. But most guys don't see that as attraction, which mystery method would say that that is attraction, right? Any type of non-rejection to a pickup artist is attraction because women don't communicate like that. Like they communicate with their body and with their emotions and with their, if she's around somebody, that means she like that motherfucker. So it's just tricky territory. Yeah. So I think it's smoother to tell stories to come in. I always talk about stories, and I want y'all to I want this channel to grow that way, right? I don't want no miscommunication. I'm still kind of new to the game, but I'm in enough to know like this is what I like. I like to tell stories, and I think stories is the best way to convey not only your personality. I mean, think about it. 99% of guys getting rejected are not conveying their personality. So she's not rejecting your personality. She's rejecting the fact that you aren't willing to show your personality. That's what's the difference between the cool guy in high school and the nerd. The nerd was too shy to do half the shit the cool guy was doing. So the cool guy was just being himself. Like, hey, I seen this fucking stupid ass cat. I hate cats, you know what I'm saying? But my neighbor got these cats, so I feel like they're my cats. And this is a true story for me too. Like, I got the concept from somewhere, but I'm just riding off that concept. And you don't gotta remember stories detail by detail. You just gotta remember the key points, at least three key points, and it'll help you to be able to memorize it and to be able to use it. Hence what I'm doing in this video. Yeah, I see this cat. She got one fat cat and one like cat that's just kind of like look a little younger. But that cat is always on the porch. And when I go out there, man, I'm thinking I'm just outside by myself, but I'm never outside by myself. So this cat just is always just kind of like bird watching me. And when I see it, we had to get into the staring contest, you know what I'm saying? And it really makes me feel like early 2000s when everybody was a gangster. And if you stared at somebody, they say, what the fuck you looking at? You can make a girl laugh, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. So much power in them fucking stories. And you're conveying personality. And she's saying, damn, I could kind of picture that. And she knows, because most women like cats. Yeah, cats are kind of stalkish. They'll stalk a person. And again, whether that hits or miss, I go into story number two. The other day is so funny. I was in the Starbucks and I was in line, and this older woman, like this older lady, had like cut me in line, and I felt like I couldn't say nothing because I felt like it'd be disrespectful to like tell her like you cut me, you know what I'm saying? Because she's a elderly, so I just let her cut me. It's so many ways I could tweak that, but I'm just saying, after I get done with that second story, okay, what Mystery said, stack two stories and then go into the what you gonna call it? I forgot what he said next. But for me personally, once I get done with story number one or story number two, whatever one I feel finished with, or I feel like I had hooked her or impacted her, I'm gonna go into flirting or bantering, which is the night. I always talk about the chess pieces. Or I might nag. I might nag her. Um, my nags, like that's the thing, like, because I do listen to a coach who say that nags are bad, but my nags are not nags, like, or a push pull, like, my nags are not like meant to put like insecurity in a woman or doubt in a woman. It's just meant to kind of like Mystery explained it. It's meant to disqualify myself as a potential, like to make her think I'm not trying to get her, basically. Like to basically to it depends though. I might not nag you. I typically nag women when I see that they're cocky or they have this nose in the air personality. And again, it won't even be offensive. It'll just be something to make her think like, damn, like I thought he wanted me, so now he don't want me type shit. It'll be something like that. It's clever. It's not, you know what I'm saying? I think if you're gonna nag, put some energy into creating some creative negs. Don't just copy what other PUA people say, because then you will technically be, yeah, you'll disarm the woman, And I'm not even gonna say some women don't deserve to get um, like what you call it? Uh kind of shit talk to them a little bit. But that's not my style. That's not my personality, and that's not how I convey with the ladies. So for me personally, it'll just be disqualifying myself, and that's good enough for me because when I come on to a woman, I come very direct and very strong anyway. So that'll just they'll feel the emptiness, like they'll feel the lack thereof. They'll feel like, oh, he pulled away. And again, I could just use a push pull if the neg is I don't really use negs, but I do feel like they can be they could put a kink in the context of me talking to you, like damn, like oh shit, like do he like me or no? It needs to have that contrast, and that's what I'm saying. So for me personally, again, I never knew you could come in telling stories. I never thought about that, like oh, I just walk up to a girl telling stories. But you can open with a story. You can open with anything, any other chess piece. You can open with a neg. You can open with a compliance test. You can open with anything. And that's another thing, right? I might go into a not compliance test off the rip, but I might go into a what you call that? Qualifier. I like to qualify women. Like I feel like there's certain things that are more powerful. Just like a chessboard. It just is. Some things hit different. And if you use them in combination, that chick is gonna feel very horny. Like if you tell those two stories and then you qualify her, or you say I tell a story about me going to Trader Joe's and getting some food, and then I qualify her like yeah, like um I can't even think. I got qualifiers, but I can't think of any right now. But I had this girl write me on Instagram because I posted a bunch of food that I got from Trader Joe's, like greens and stuff, the other day. She commented. She said, "This is my favorite broccoli from this place, whatever." She said some shit like that. And I said, "Oh, so I said something like this means that we have to go pull up together." I said some shit about us pulling up together, and that's not a qualifier, but that was more of a flirt. That was flirty. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about the queen is flirtation and sexual tension. And if you could add a little bit of that in every chess move, so you opener with flirtation, or opener with sexual tension, which is the same thing. Opener with sexual tension. If you open with sexual tension, you're going to say something very smooth, possibly, because you're going to open her. But so you're taking the mundane, the simple of an opener, and how's that word? Splicing it up, sprucing it up to where the shit actually is gonna mentally move her. Because remember, she's not expecting you to talk to her anyway. 95% of these women, they think they shit don't stink. You know what I'm saying? They're not expecting guys to have not an ounce of heart. They're not expecting guys to have any bravery, any guts. And that's where we eat, man. That's where we come in, because all we gotta do is just be ourselves and convey a little personality. And in my opinion, PUA or dating coaching, whatever we want to call it, it makes it super easy, if especially with stories. Like I said, if I come in and I'm a stranger and I'm qualifying you, yeah, that could work because I'm a stranger, and women ironically will respect somebody they don't know more than somebody they know. That's the type of creatures women are. Like if I'm a tall, light skinned guy and I look as good as me and you don't know me and I qualify you, you're gonna probably fall for that faster than if I got to know you first and then started qualifying you. Cause that's the type of people women are. Like not all women, but women are very cocky. So if they know somebody or they feel like they got comfort with you, they feel like, man, I don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah. But if they don't know a lot about you and you the new kid on the block, it's just you just come across more dangerous. You got more mystery, mystique to you, and so it's for y'all guys to know how to manage that mystique and mystery, and don't give all your mystery away, because mystery is power, right? So you want to use that to your ability. And that's why I say storytelling. Storytelling is powerful because it gives you the ability to touch somebody metaphorically without touching them and pushing them into the part of their brain where they're imagining you having a staring contest with a cat, or imagining you being a man enough to let an older woman cut you in line. And also subconsciously thinking, wow, he was doing shit before he approached me. He had a relationship with a cat next door. He has a relationship with, well, not really a relationship with an older woman, but he was in a public place. So he's not a killer. He's not Jason Voorhees. He's not just sitting in his house all day. And these subcommunicate, right? Because I seen a girl in the library. She was a librarian the other day, and I asked her what book. I was like, "You read books? Like, what type of books you read?" The reason why the indirect game makes so much sense to me and is so favored by me in this season is because I don't know her, she don't know me. I don't know how crazy her fucking ass is. She don't know how crazy my motherfucking ass is. Fair game, right? Fair fucking game. Me asking her what book she reads signifies to the subconscious brain, this motherfucker likes women who reads books, so he must be somebody. You don't understand the type of game that's being ran when you're doing the indirect game. It's not just manipulating a woman to get some pussy. It's conveying personality so that if I do get that pussy, she's gonna enjoy it 10 times more. Like, other than that, she's gonna be just be handing me over some pussy. But if I am conveying good personality and good conduct, and like I'm showing the best parts of myself, right? That's all women care about. I'm not gonna make it seem like they don't care about your bad shit in your life too, but both genders on the forefront, we only care about, just like us, we only give a fuck about how she looked, how her ass looked, and da da da. We're very, very materialistic, and so are women at first. It's primal. It's like, damn, he's sexy. And then it'd be the same women who think like, oh, da 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 da, they talk shit, right? But if you didn't never fuck with them, didn't never give them a chance, and didn't never approach them, they'd be the same ones looking out the window with a cat. Damn, a lot of guys, there's no good guys left. A lot of guys never liked me all my life. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with you, but you wasn't approached by a guy who had no game. And if you was, he probably had so many women that you wasn't really, cause then it changes the stakes, bro. It makes it to where the woman has to earn our attention because they know, like I said, do you read books? That's like a qualifier question, like an opener. Like, you read what type of books you read? That's way more. That's way more hard for her to unpack because she don't even know she like me yet. She know I'm cute. She know I look like I'm doing shit, handling business at the library, but she don't know me. Now, if I said, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude or nothing, but like you had caught my eye, like, what's good? Da, 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 da. You got an Instagram, you got a number. I see so many guys on YouTube doing that, but not just like even like that. They might do a couple flirty things in the process, which spuses it up. I give them their credit, but they're not really running any like real dynamic, real like push pull tease. They might do a little, like some of y'all do a little tease, but it's here nor there. But women need you to really do the shit, like from A to Z or A to F. They need you to really move them during the interaction. It can't be half-assed. That's what I'm trying to say. So everything need to be like, you need to come in playing chess, like knowing what I'm gonna do, because that makes it harder for her to digest. She's like, damn, he's not, because not only is he speaking that shit, but then she's gonna feel your energy. Like, he's present as fuck because I don't gotta be in my mind. I'm already knowing what I'm about to do. I'm gonna tell two stories, then I'm gonna nag you, then I'm gonna push pull you, then I'm gonna tease you, Then I don't know the IODs too much, but I mean, based on her body language or some shit or whatever, just mirror that. Or I mean, it's so many different ways to look at different things. Because what I called asking her, do she read books and what type of books? I seen that in my head as a hooking point, which is a PUA term. But that could have also been seen as a qualifier. But it's only a qualifier if I'm asking because I like women who read books, which I kind of do. So it could be a hooking point qualifier. You know what I'm saying? A qualifier hooking point, whatever. And all a hooking point means, for y'all that don't know, what is a hooking point? It's a point where she's hooked. A point where you could tell that she's hooked. Or a different way of looking at it is like, if I'm trying to get a hooking point and I'm talking to you, I'm gonna ask a question, or I'm trying to remember how it's explained, but I'm trying to get information. So I'm talking to you. Oh, you got a red hat. Red is your color. Da da da. I might just be saying bullshit, but I'm trying to get to a point where the conversation hooks, where I got you interested because the shit that I'm saying is interesting. So you see how game is important, because I may not be interested every day. Some days I wake up, my breath stink. Some days I wake up, I roll out of bed, I can't even see. I got crust in my eyes and shit. And I'm not I may still be him, but I'm not him that I was yesterday. At least I don't feel like it. So going for a hooking point with a woman, or using the queen, the flirtation and sexual attention with a woman, it cancels out all the mischief in the mind. The mind could be very messy. Oh, I'm okay. I'm not How do you fuck you know you're not interested? It's because the way I'm talking to you is not interesting. That's it. If it was something else, I would know, because the numbers don't lie. How many women fall into that when you're interested? They fall into that frame because they can't lie to the biology. But they can lie to the biology if you're really not saying anything, or you don't got no hooking points. You're not saying anything to hook her. Like when I asked Shorty about the books, that's a hooking point, because I could guess that since you're a librarian, you're into books. So that's a point of interest for her. I'm not being selfish. I'm not coming in talking about what I like, what I want, what I this, what I that, what I this. No, I'm using my observation skills, and I'm figuring out what it is she might like. And that's making it to where we might have common ground right there. If we got common ground, that's a hooking point. Now we have a connection. Connection builds comfort. It comes with comfort and rapport. And I got this analogy I thought about upstairs. It's women are very scared. Like humans, we're all scared. The world is a scary place, right? So with that being said, you gotta always think about something I like to call it what you call that? Oh, it wasn't that bad moments. So I could think back to when I had girlfriends, and when I was like, anytime I was in a relationship with a female, anything, even if they didn't think I was weird and they wanted me first, they still got to get somewhat comfortable. So talking with them, you basically want to hit these points called it wasn't that bad moment. So say you meet a new girl at school and y'all got this like, oh, she think I'm cute, and you see her, you're like, yo, what's up? But y'all never really had no real sit down at lunch, and y'all never really had no like quality time together. It's always them moments at the beginning of the relationship where I could remember hugging Shorty in the hallway and just getting comfortable with her. Like she never felt my touch before. She never felt my kiss before. None of that. So she had to what? Realize like, well, depending on how bad she wanted it, she was going to accept it regardless. But that's not the point. The point is, because every guy is not going to have a woman that interested, but on the linear progression to more and more interest, there's points called it wasn't that bad. It's like when you get a needle, you're like, oh, that shit wasn't that bad. That's kind of what it is with attraction. It's like there's gonna be moments and pockets. Cause when I was in the library, I'm like, damn, should I say something to Shorty? She looked kind of fire, like, but I had to push through, and being indirect made it easier. Well, not really, because I'm really good at with the direct too. But I'm just saying, like, it made it more fun. And when I asked about the books, and she responded, I could tell she had a little dis-ease in that or unease, but she still did it. Oh yeah, I like to read. She said that's a loaded question. Da da da. So that showed me like she did have some interest in there inside of her body. And if I would have went direct, it probably would have just flatlined. It probably wouldn't have did anything because she probably would have been not been comfortable with my touch. Like I said, the it's not that bad O meter has to be, it's a gradual. So all the people going direct thinking that that's the only way. I think that's kind of erroneous because you gotta have yang and yin in life. Because every woman, if she's a nerd, ain't no way she just gonna just give you her number just because you cute or some shit. Like you feel me? She's gonna actually want to know like who the fuck is this guy talking to me? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not saying she want to know your whole life story. She just want to know like, do we got anything in common? Why the fuck I'm gonna give him my number just so he could go home and never text me, or he go home and brag that he bagged this library? That doesn't do nothing for me. But when you say, "Oh, yo, you read books? What type of books you into?" Now she don't know if you gonna be her friend or if you trying to fuck. But it doesn't matter. It's water under a bridge to a woman because she sees value in you. So no matter what he want to do, he can have it all because it doesn't matter what he want to do. Because to any guy who talks to me this way, it's kind of seductive. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of seducing. So, and that's what women want to be. They want to be seduced, and that's the secret in the sauce that nobody talks about. That's why Miami the Kid's so successful because flirtation is a part of seduction. Flirting, like I said, openers, da 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 da. I mean, and reading your opponent. Like I said, I could see she was a nerd. I could see she's a librarian. But she's pretty and she's black. I mean, she's like light skinned. And I could just got nerd vibes from her. But you don't know how sexual she is. You don't know how naughty she really is. You don't know because you don't try because you think everything got to be a direct. Yo, what's your number? Da, 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 da. You don't even know her. And even if y'all start talking and you don't start flirting then through the text message, she's never gonna get comfortable. She's never getting a sample or example of like, what it would be like. What it would be like if y'all got together. See, flirting is so powerful to me because right off the rip, she's getting a romantic sample of like, yo, like, oh shit, like it feel good to be around him. Like he making me feel special and pretty. Like they're getting an example right off the rip. It's no game. Like those are the smooth guys. They give a woman example. Just because you're in my presence, you getting blessed. That's why they eat like that. Cause a woman gonna be like, damn, like I can't go around him. He gonna flirt with me, but I kind of want to be flirted with. But I'd be lying to myself 24/7 because all these losers can't flirt. So that I gotta go to him. Forces her back to you. Man, I'm about to get out of here, man. But look, stories are important to me, man. I'm not gonna talk about stories every time, but I just had to get this last video out about stories before I just keep working on it myself and doing it for myself because it ain't a story you can't tell. You can tell a story about anything. You can splice it up and make it impactful or resonate with the woman. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to be a little creative and know how to, like I said, make it a short story. Not no big ass story, but you tell the short stories so that you could tell one big story. So you tell 2 to 3, you stack forward 2 to 3 short stories so that you could tell one big story. So I do 2 to 1 ratio because the big story is gonna build more of a bigger connection with her. But yeah, just work on that, get that right, And like I said, you become a man of stories. It's very hard not to get no, not to smash, because it's like, who is this guy? That's kind of the impact you're gonna have. Like, yo, who is this guy? Remember, the game is subtle and it's subconscious. So if I'm coming around and I'm just telling stories, that's impressive because one, how many girls have you fucked? And two, how many stories do you got? And three, why is the other guys not able to be like come across as important? There's so many questions that it evokes, like, because I honestly believe, like, who tells stories in families? Not little kids, grandparents, the most powerful dynamic people in it. Yeah, when I was around your age, I used to do this and do that. Everybody loves the grandparents, whether they on good terms or not. It doesn't matter. You can't move those figures. Those figures are important. They're the most wittiest, smartest, wisdom type having creatures, and they come across as charming. And that's what you really want to do. You don't want to come across as needy. Grandparents don't never do that. You want to come across as just powerful, like likable, you know what I'm saying, easy going. And it just, whether you like me or not, I'm telling stories anyway. If you leave, I'm just gonna tell a story to this guy over here, the mail clerk. We can get into a conversation. It just doesn't matter. It's just like I'm unmoved either way. And that's what I'm saying. When you just, oh yo, like, what's your number? What's your Instagram? Yeah, I do that still, but I'm not leading with that, because you could smash a girl without the number. Just like meet a girl at the store, and the way you talking to her, she like, damn, you want to go over here behind this store? You want to go over here behind? It could get like that, because value is not seen so often. So it's like the amount of horniness that they could feel. Man, I'm about to get out of here, man. I think I'm talking too much, but listen, like, comment, subscribe, man. I'm out, man.